big day, guys. Oh, my Ceika Coilovers just landed, and let's see what these bad boys will do to the stands of my Supra and performance. These are my Ceika performance coilovers, custom made for my Supra. Well, I can't wait to fix this thing. This looks so cool. This is what our current height looks like. You can see my hands can fully fit in. This doesn't look good to me. I want this lower too. Well, we'll find out. And this is what she looks from behind. This is our current height. Hello, Freya. So, well, no fix without a co-start, and I haven't really had the chance to show you guys our exhaust setup. So many of you guys have been asking to know how she sounds like, how she drives on the road. Soon we're going to take her on the road after we've got our suspension fixed, or give this baby a cold start, and let's hear how she sounds. Today is finally that day I've been waiting to get my car lowered, because I actually didn't like the stock height that came with my 1981 Supra. I finally got my Ceika coilovers installed on my 81 Supra. Well, but of course, it didn't go with a few hiccups. Let me take you through the full journey, from unboxing to welding to an axle mishap I wasn't prepared for. Yeah, you heard me right. I started with the rear, and everything seems to go pretty smoothly. I took off the old shocks, swapped in the new one, the Ceika coilovers, and admired that snug fit. But before then, I had to take out the old spring, and this was where my problem all started. While taking off the old spring, I didn't lay a support on the lower arm, and that caused my rear axle to pull from the differential, and this really did scare me. Rookie mistake and a lesson learned. The old suspension is bolted by two bolts. There's one just behind where the rotor disc is, and there's one in the trunk. After a bit of panic, I took a step back, assessed the damage, and figured out how to carefully get the axle back in place without damaging the seal. So guys, as you can see, I'm below the car, I'm under the car. I never really understood what he meant to the risks it takes to come under here until you're under here, and then you understand like this thing could literally just fall on you. But you can see the shaft pulled out because the lower arm dropped, so it pulled out on both sides, and that was my mistake. But I guess we learn every day. This is how the other side looks like. So I'm going to try to fix this. At this point, I needed to carefully reset the CV axle into the differential. The splines must align perfectly with the inner gears. Any misalignment or excessive force can strip the splines or damage the differential. So I rotated the hood slightly to match the spline angle. I applied light inward pressure, and once the axle engaged, I gave it a firm controlled push until it seated with a soft click. And that's how you know it's locked into the C-clip inside. Never apply too much force when trying to fix the axle back in. I had to take the measurements for my adjustable Ceika performance coilovers to make sure both ends sit same and right. Taking out a 40-year-old suspension is never easy, but I'm up for the challenge. When removing the front suspension, I didn't go for the top mount first. That comes last. I started by safely jacking up the car and removing the wheels. Then I tackled the brake caliper, unbolting it from the knuckle and hanging it aside with a wire to avoid stress on the brake line. Next, I disconnected the sway bar end link and steering knuckle. I disconnected just about every other component from the strut, like the rotor discs and the shield that protects dust just behind the rotor discs. I then moved to the engine bay only when everything was clear and stable below. I unbolted the top mount from under the hood. It was secured by just 3 bolts. That's the safest and cleanest sequence to remove the front strut without damaging your lines or stressing suspension components. So guys, this is our strut and this is our coilover. So what we need to do is we need to do a custom welding job on this. We need to cut this after taking the right measurement, have this welded on this. So we need to take out this spindle from here, weld it onto this. The front coilovers didn't come both in. These Ceikas needed some custom work. I had to take the old spindles, cut them out and weld them into the new coilovers, and even gave welding a try. And I think I didn't do bad at all. After cutting the spindles, I fitted them into the coilovers and I was ready to go have them welded. This process turned the universal coilover into a custom fit part for my Mk1 Supra. Strong, aligned and ready to bolt up. Well, I had to leave it for the professionals to do the final touches. Once the weld cooled, I bolted the front coilovers in. Clean fit, solid look, and now the Supra sits just right. I had to make sure the spindle was dust free, so I used foil and making sure everything was clean while I bolted everything on. And I had to apply grease to make sure everything was lubricated. And mind you, I didn't go easy on that grease. step back and build. Lesson learned, progress made, and a new fresh feel to the ride. One step closer to how I dreamt this Supra would be.